In this video, I'm going to show you 6 camera features that take minutes to learn that every beginner should know how to do on their own camera. Welcome! This is the first video of my 10-part beginner photography series. I've been teaching this class for years, and one thing I've always noticed is there's a lot of beginners who have a great camera, but they don't know how to do any or some of these camera features. Not only will they bring you a lot more value to your camera, in many cases, they'll make learning photography a lot easier. So let's get started. Camera feature number 1, restoring your camera back to factory settings. There's going to come a time when you mess something up on your camera and you don't know what you did. When this happens, just know that you can reset your camera back to factory settings. Most beginners are afraid of playing with a lot of camera settings and features because they're afraid of messing something up. Messing something up is part of the learning process, but once you know that you can reset your camera back to factory settings, it removes those barriers. To reset your camera back to factory settings, most brands have the option under the menu. Just look for an option called Reset All or Reset Camera. For Canons, it's called Clear Settings. Then choose Clear All Camera Settings. Once you select this option, it may ask you if you're sure. Choose Yes. Nikon is the only brand where it's not in the menu. If you have a Nikon camera, simply go to Google and type in your camera model with the word Factory Reset after it. In this case, Nikon 610 Factory Reset. For most Nikons, there's a 3-button combination that you're going to have to hold for 3 seconds in order to reset your camera. When you reset your camera back to factory settings, it won't delete the pictures on your memory card. If you can't figure out how to reset your camera back to factory settings, refer to your manual. And camera feature number 2, formatting your memory card in camera. Once you have safely downloaded all your pictures onto your computer, you then want to put your memory card back into your camera and format the pictures there. This will delete all the pictures. However, it also optimizes your card for your camera. This will also result in less likely having memory card failure. For almost every brand, there's an option under the menu that says Format Card. Once you select this option, all your photos and videos will be deleted. And camera feature number 3, using Live View. Live View allows you to see on the back of the camera instead of using the viewfinder. You won't always use Live View, but it can become very handy in some situations. For some cameras, Live View is on by default, like with the Canon M50. But if yours isn't on, you're going to have to turn it on and off when you want to use it. For most Canons, there's a button with a red dot beside it. Once you press that, Live View should come on. For Nikons, there's an LV switch or button. Pretty much every camera that's come on the market in the last 10 years has Live View. I should warn you though, Live View does drain your battery faster, so use it wisely. And camera feature number 4, finding the button to access your quick access menu. For this feature, you can't be in auto mode, so for the purpose of this lesson, we're going to use a semi-manual mode or manual mode. Let's put our cameras to aperture mode. So on your mode dial, look for A or AV if you have a Canon. The quick menu is where the most important options and settings are for your camera. That's why it's really handy to know where your quick access menu button is. We're going to cover those settings in future videos. For now, we're just going to find that button. For most Canon cameras, there's a Q button somewhere on the back of the camera. For most Sonys, Fujis, and Pentax, look for an FN button. For most Nikons, there's a button that says I. The only exception is if you have a full-frame Nikon camera, they don't use quick access menu. They use actual buttons for every feature somewhere on the camera. If you have one of those bridge cameras with a built-in lens, there may be a button that says Function Settings or Function. Possibly even it may just say Set. Once you're in the quick access menu, you're going to see a whole bunch of different options. There's going to be ISO, white balance, metering, drive mode. Just use your directional pad to scroll to that setting, then press the Set or OK button to change the setting for that option. To exit the menu, all you have to do is gently touch the shutter button, but don't press the shutter button all the way. And camera feature number 5, continuous mode. Continuous mode is when you hold your shutter button down and it will fire off about 7 pictures in 1 second. Older cameras may be slower. Right now, your camera's set up that you press the shutter button, it'll take 1 picture. But if you're into sports or want to take pictures of children or animals, you want to shoot in continuous mode. So hit the shortcut button to get back into your quick access menu. Then look for the option called Drive Mode. Press the OK or Set button so you can change the setting. S means single shot. Continuous means continuous mode. Some cameras have continuous L and continuous H. This means continuous slow and continuous fast. Once you have continuous mode set, when you hold your shutter button down, it'll keep firing images. Some cameras may also have a button on it somewhere that looks like this. If your camera has this button, it's just a shortcut to get to drive mode, so you can use that option instead. And camera feature number 6, your ISO settings. In my years of teaching beginner photography, I have noticed that 75% of the frustrations and problems beginner photographers experience are rooted in incorrect ISO settings. ISO is one of those settings that if you do right, you don't even notice, but if you do it wrong, your pictures could be dark, grainy, or blurry. That's why for beginners, there's nothing wrong with using auto ISO for now, and then you can learn ISO later. I now consider ISO to be level 2 photography. So all you need to know is how to put it to auto ISO. So let's once again press that button to get to your quick access menu. Once you're in this menu, look for ISO settings or just ISO. Once you access that setting, make sure it says auto. Then hit OK or Set to lock in that setting. If you have a Nikon camera, it's different. You're going to have to hit the menu button. Then choose Shooting Menu. Then ISO sensitivity settings. On this screen, the default ISO should either be 100 or 200, and this option should be set to ISO. Then hit OK or Set to lock it in. Once you let your camera choose your ISO for you, it's a very good chance it's going to choose the correct ISO anyway. I will be creating a video on ISO settings in the future, but for now, since you don't have to set ISO, 75% of your problems and frustrations are now gone. So those are the only 6 camera features I recommend you learn now before you learn my beginner photography series. And as you can see, they weren't that difficult. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions about this video, please leave it in the comment section below. I will respond. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see all my videos. And here is a tip from my wife. Don't buy the cheapest memory card on the market you can find. A good quality memory card like SanDisk should cost you about $30 to $40. They do have a better performance and they're way more reliable. Further, if your memory card's about 4 or 5 years old or older, it's probably time to replace your card. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it.